Okay.
Cloud. Thank you, Jason.
Gotcha.
The first thing I wanted to do was to just remind everybody to vote on the developments. The voting is open for anyone who is a member of koha-US. And if you're not a member of koha-US, this would be a wonderful time to join. Memberships are half price right now because we've made it past July 1.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And your email is still not working. It's still kicking back to me.
If you need to figure out how to join koha-US, just go to koha-US.org. There's a join link there that you can do that. And yeah, if you haven't voted yet, please do that. I didn't have anything specific on the agenda today. I just kind of wanted to open it up for people to bring things that they needed to talk about. If nobody has anything, my thought was maybe we could just, what I could do was share my screen and just kind of go through some steps just to stimulate ideas, questions that people have. That way we can, kind of talk about workflows and things like that. So first, does anybody have anything, a bug that they're interested in, would like to drum up support for, a question about workflow, a question about something you came across in Koha that you're not sure what it's doing, that kind of thing.
And
okay. I went back and listened to a couple of the meetings that I had missed in February and March. There was some discussion there about purchase suggestions and workflow stuff. So I thought maybe we could go back and revisit that. Does that sound interesting? I was kind of curious. It seemed like there were a few people that were using, see a thumbs up, yay. Love that little icon. And so my thought, as I was just kind of practicing doing some stuff before the meeting, and I think if we kind of pretend like we get a purchase suggestion and that will take us through the workflow, and then, as things happen, if you've got questions, I know it sparked a few questions for me. So let's just, so what I did, and I've now since closed it, yay. All right, so let me share my screen with you. Let's see, I think I want that one to share. Okay, can everybody see new tab screen here? So I wanted to start out by making sure everybody's aware of the demo that's on Bywater Solutions that you can just kind of play with, because it's usually the most recent version. So if you go to bywatersolutions.com and go to support, and then you scroll down and you see Margaret's picture right here. And then here you've got a demo OPAC and a demo staff client. So what I like to do when I'm trying out different things is come here and just to what I'm doing, to let you see, we have, this is Koha 1911.7 that they're running there. So that's, I think, the most recent one. So this has some data in it that we can play with, and some basic vendors and things like that. So What I'll do, and since I've got my screen shared, my chat seems to have gone away. So if somebody could just kind of watch the chat and sing out when somebody, okay, Margaret, you got that under control? I'm not sure, I think it went away. So what I was thinking was just kind of go through, somebody makes a suggestion, so that gives us something to order, and then we can go through that process and just see what questions pop up. So the first thing we need to do is find a patron. So I'm going to pick what H's today. And we have a patron here, Judy Hafta. Oh my gosh, I didn't hear that in my head, but when I said it out loud, yep, okay. Judy Hafta, okay. First we have to renew his card. Okay, so they're renewed. So I'm doing this from the staff side. Of course, the patron side will look a little different, but from the staff side, as staff members, they can submit purchase suggestions for patrons. So what they do is they would click on that patron's purchase suggestion button, and then we can make a new purchase suggestion. So I'm a Louise Penny fan, so her latest is All the Devils Are Here, coming out later this year. So, and then you can fill in whatever you want here. I don't know the ISBN or anything. So, and then a book. And, you know, on the patron side, they're not going to see all this suggestion management and things like that. So we'll just submit, and we can see that this patron now has All the Devils Are Here. So the next thing we want to do is go to acquisitions. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. As you can see, I'm a fan of many tabs. So we'll go here, and we will go to, well, we can see that we've got 5 suggestions waiting, so we can manage that. There we have it. So at this point, I had a question. So we can see we've got accepted, pending, available, checked, ordered, and rejected. On our system, we have accepted, pending, checked, and rejected. We don't have ordered or available. So I don't know if anybody uses, I don't know what happens with the ordered and the available. If I look at those, we have nothing available, and these are things, I guess, that were ordered. Just because I'm just going to share our workflow for processing this, and if other people do different things differently, please sing out and let us know. So all of the purchase suggestions come in on the pending tab when, you know, fresh from the patron. What we do is we have one person assigned each day to come in and monitor the pending stuff. And what they will do is they will look at each one of these and decide, do we already have it? Is it something that we've got in an order already? Is it something that's like a series fill-in that's real obvious? Yes, we're going to get it. That kind of thing, kind of take the, you know, pick the low-hanging fruit, get that out of the list. Pardon me. And then what they'll do is look at it, look it up in Ingram or whatever, you know, Midwest Tape, whatever you need to, and decide, you know, is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Is it adult? Is it children's? Is it YA? all that kind of stuff, and figure out which collection developer this particular suggestion falls under. And then what we do is move this out of the way. We'll go in and edit it and change and put in here the initials of the collection developer that it belongs to, and change this to checked. So that as a collection developer, I, at any time, just go in and look at checked and look for my initials. So that kind of takes some of the burden off the collection developers to constantly be going through this pending list. You know, they go straight to check, they look for their initials, they just handle those. The person that's going through this is not a collection developer, but she knows enough about it to know which collection developer it needs to go to. So that's what we do. I'm curious, are there other ways that people use this suggestions management tool to kind of streamline the workflow or anything like that?
The chat is awful quiet.
Yeah. Everybody had your coffee this morning. That's important. So.
All right, thank you, Judy. We put AF juvenile DVD in front of the title so we can alphabetize them. That's a convenient trick.
Oh, that's cool.
And Hasina, thanks for joining from Pasco. They're just getting started on their Koha acquisitions journey.
Ah, okay. All right. So you might pick up a few ideas. That's a clever idea to put the basically collection code in front of the title so that alphabetizes them. I like that. Okay. So at this point, okay. So I'm going to go back to Louise Penny just because I want to do that one. So I'm gonna edit this one and put my initials on it and change it to check just because that's what I'm used to. Not necessary to do that at all. So we have these three in checked. So I come in. This is my processing purchase suggestions time of my week. So I look and I think, oh, okay, all the devils are here. I know I want to order that. I know it's going to be a bestseller. Definitely want to do that. So what I will then do, and I'm just going to put this in a basket or whatever for, let me do this again. Amazon, just as the vendor, because it's easy. So here's the acquisitions. I went to acquisitions home and I will search on Amazon, and we have a basket that's opened. Depending on how you do things, you know, you could add to that basket. Let's just for giggles create a new basket because it's part of a workflow. So our basket name, we're going to call this, what is this, July order. So, yeah, that's right. And I guess we're going to get this at the East Branch. We don't want to make this a standing order, and we're going to create items when we're placing the order. Okay, so I'm going to save that. So now we've got this shiny new basket. So the next thing I want to do is add to basket. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. There's a, Jason sent a thing to the list. Oh, okay. Yeah, Holly's still trying to get in. Okay, So what we're going to do is we are going to add this from a suggestion. So if we click on that, we can see that I skipped a step. Okay, let's go back. Cancel that. So what we have to do here, I forgot to accept, accept this. So what I need to do is actually accept this suggestion. And my reason is, oh, it's going to be a bestseller. So we will submit that. Okay, so now if we look, under accepted, we see Lord of the Libraries and All the Devils Are Here. Now I go back here. I thought I canceled that. Add to basket from a suggestion. And now we see All the Devils Are Here as one of the suggestions that I can hit. And here's Lord of the Libraries. Still haven't figured out where these come from, but oh, probably because they're different branches. So I click on order and it fills in what I had put in the purchase suggestion. So if I needed more information like the publisher or the ISBN or something like that, I would need to add it at this point. I'm just going to leave it. Make sure this is ordered. So this defaults to ordered, ours defaults to available. So we have to go in and change that every time. I don't know, I'll have to figure out if there's a way to set that to ordered. I don't know, does anybody know, have their system default to ordered? Because I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm jealous. Why?
It's probably something in the frameworks or in the relationship to authorized values, or maybe a bit of jQuery. But okay. I think a quick ping of the Bywater educators will get an answer.
Okay, all right.
And we have had a few comments come in on the chat.
Okay, super.
I was just waiting for Rhonda to hit a nice pause point in the tutorial. But we have Pamela mentioning that the library takes mostly suggestions through email. And is also getting familiar with acquisitions. Stephanie shares that they have a cool workflow where they note possible ILL requests and keep them in the rejected tab, but then the ILL staff member comes through and takes a look at them and will clear them when they're done.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Stephanie also shares that theirs defaults to not for loan on order in this menu.
Okay.
And the same for Elena. So
okay.
Optional. We'll follow up on that one and then maybe put a quick post in the group to say, this is the setting, pick whichever not for loan status you want right here.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Because pretty sure.
Just a friendly reminder, this meeting is recorded and Jason is going to post it to where all our past meetings get recorded to after this meeting's done.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question, if
yes.
you don't mind. Like I think Margaret mentioned that we are planning to use that, and our acquisition department has one issue. They were concerned that when you order this item, are these going to be showing for patron to place a hold? Like I saw in the chat, it says that not for loan, which is good. Can we choose that?
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this, this is going to create a brief record, all it's going to have in it, and we can go look at this as well. But all it's going to have in it is the title and the author and the publication year in this really, really brief record. And depending on how you have your ordered or whatever, whatever not for loan status you select, depending on how you've got it set up, whether it's in, well, here, let's go look. This is a great question. So let's go to the administration and authorized values. And I think I need more than 20. Where is it? Not loan. There. So these are under here. This obviously is for this system, and they just have the 5 not for loan statuses. But you can see how ordered here is a negative number. So that means people will be able to put holds on it. If you had a not for loan status, like staff collection or not for loan, without the negative, then they can't put holds on it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So we can go back here, and when we set this to ordered, it will create a brief record that people can put holds on. So actually, if you were really doing this, you might want to, you know, add the ISBN for sure, and maybe the publisher, just so that people have, you know, more information to go on. And, you know, you can fill in any of these other fields too, if you want to, you know, item information. We are, yeah.
Could you talk a little bit more about connecting the suggestion with the patron, placing a hold and all that?
Okay, okay. So what currently, the only way you can connect a patron suggestion to an order is if you are doing it this way. So back, okay. So when we added, let me just back this up to here. I'm going to cancel that. So when I add this item to a basket, we've got all these choices of where to get our order from. So when I picked from a suggestion, the system goes and looks at what are the accepted suggestions for my branch, and displays those, and then I pick from one of those. If I want, you know, if this is just something that I want to order, I can do it from a new or an empty record, and then I just fill in all the information. If I want to do this from an existing copy, let's say, you know, we bought a copy of All the Devils Are Here, and it became really popular, and our holds ratio got triggered, and I wanted to buy another copy, then I could pick from an existing order, and then yeah, let's see. Let's see. I think there is something in here. So if I search on that, oh, there's nothing really. I thought there was that one book, but you would search for the title, and it would bring up some options down here that you can match on. The other ones from an external source, I don't think I've ever used that. From a new file or from a staged file, those two, a new file is like if you download a file from your vendor that has a bunch of stuff in it, you could pick this. You can also stage that file that you got, you know, this would be like in your downloads, you would have a file there. You could also stage that file and then pick this from a stage file, and then you would, if you click on it, you would see the stage files available. And then from titles with highest hold ratios, I'm not sure what will happen on this demo system. Okay, so nothing, yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. Nothing here, but if you had, let's just change it to one. Oh, nothing seems to have a hold on it here. But what you could do there is, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with that screen where if you do that at your library, you'll see multiple things that have holds on them above, you know, whatever you set your hold ratio to. And you could pick from there to add things to a basket. And when you do that, okay, so when you do that from the highest hold ratios, from a suggestion, from an existing order, then just an item is added to the existing record. Where if you do some of these other ones, like an empty record or, you know, oh, suggestion would be one that, if the suggestion was something that was a duplicate, but a suggestion, a new empty record, a new file and a stage file, all of those will create a new bib record, just skeletal bib record, and an item, you know, skeletal item thing too. If the one thing, you know, especially if you're using a service like we use, and I knew as soon as I said that, the name would fly out of my head. Whatever. They base the cover art on the ISBN. So if you add the ISBN to a record, then automatically the cover art shows up if it's available. So that's always, that's kind of nice, because a lot of people, you know, they're looking for that cover that they saw at Barnes and Noble or, you know, Amazon.
Are you talking about Syndetics or one of the other
Yes.
cover image services?
Syndetics, thank you. That's who we use.
And so if you're going from a suggestion from titles with the highest hold ratios, does that enable you to, you know, tell the record, okay, once this is received or once this is available, put the hold on it, because there's people out there that have shown that they really want this item by making the suggestion, by putting the items on hold.
Okay, so I will show you what really happens in Koha. So we're going to say, here's ordering, and yeah, if I knew, hang on, can't help myself. I got to get that ISBN. What is it? All the, oops, I can't spell. So if we throw in the ISBN, let's just pick the 10. All right, so we'll go back here. We'll throw in the ISBN ordered. And then what we always do is make sure that there's a item type in here too, because that has an effect on the number of holds people can place and that kind of thing. So we do that, add the item. So the quantity is updated to 1, and we need to select our fund. It's a fiction. We're going to say I didn't pay any attention to how much it costs, so we're going to say that. We just do that. We don't have to pay tax, so we don't have that set up. And then what I'm going to do is just save it. So we've got it in the basket. So what I want to do now is go back to our patron and refresh this and go to our notices. So far they've got a notice that says we've accepted our their suggestion, and then once we put it in a basket, it sends them a notice that says the item's been ordered. So these are the default, you know, text, whatever. So then oops, we have this item in our basket. So what we're going to do is close the basket, and we've got our July order here. So what time has passed. We get our Amazon order a day or two later. We want to receive the shipment. So we'll do an invoice. We'll just put today's date as the invoice. And since it's Amazon, we don't have any shipping costs, and we don't have to assign it to a fund. If you did have some shipping costs, you would want to, depending on how you're set up, maybe you assign all of your shipping charges to a shipping cost fund, or maybe you just assign it to the same fund that the items that you're getting. We'll just do fiction books, okay? And we go in there. These are the two items that we can receive, that are available. So we'll go in here and receive this item. And we say, yep, we want that one. Double check this, we've got the right fund, we've got the quantity, this is the cost, that's all good. We save it. So we've got, this is received. Now that's all I want to do. I'm going to finish receiving, and there we have our invoice. I always click save here again just because it makes me nervous. So now if I go back to our patron, we now see that there's a message that got sent that says suggested purchase available, which gets sent when we receive it. For us, there's usually a little bit of processing time. So we have very excited patrons that when they see that, they're like, oh, yay. What doesn't happen is a hold get automatically placed. That does not happen. They will get these two notices. We don't use this process because we order most of our stuff through EDI, and there is no way to connect a purchase suggestion and a staged file. We use staged files. So there's no way to make that connection. There is a bug out there. We've had a couple, I think there's 3 libraries that got together, us and 2 others, which I think Monterey was one, and I'm blanking on the third one, to do a development that would connect purchase suggestions. I think this is it. Purchase suggestion enhancements to linking to orders. So this would build a purchase suggestion, a matching tool for purchase suggestions and staged files. So that's 1935-8. If you want to put a comment in there, Barbara has already, I have already. This will be a great one for EDI, because we would love to be able to notify our patrons, at least be able to notify them and let them know that the book has arrived, or the item that they're talking about. We tested this, we literally updated the notification thing and said, this is a test. What do you think about this? And then we just sent it to like 3 or 4 people and then turned it off and didn't do it. But, the response was very positive. We had to modify the things, like once it's been ordered, people can go into the system and put holds on it themselves. And then, we modified this to say, we've actually received it in the building. Please watch for your hold notification if you've placed it on hold. Otherwise, go ahead and place it on hold. that's how we envision using this. I'm not sure. I know it would be slick to have the items, you know, automatically place a hold. I've worked on systems that have done that in the past, and that's very nice. We just don't have the manpower to actually go in and put all those notifications in because of the number of purchase suggestions that we get. We get a lot. Oh, and the other thing that's coming in 2005, yeah, 2005, is the ability to limit purchase suggestions by time. And by that, I mean, you know, basically it's, you can fill in the 2 blanks in this sentence. Purchase suggestions are limited to blank number, you know, 3, I'll use 3 as an example, blank number of suggestions within a rolling blank, like 30 days or 60 days or whatever. So that, you know, I'm sure every library has the energetic, excited patrons who want to put in literally 12 of them all at once, you know, or whatever. But our policy is to limit people to 3 a month. So this new feature that's coming in 2005 will actually allow us to implement that automatically. Right now we're doing some manual stuff to try and limit that, which is kind of clunky, but that's something I'm really looking forward to. So back here. All right, so we've pretty much gone through the entire non-EDI process for placing an order and then receiving it. I realized halfway through that I blew through that really fast.
That's what the recording's for, Rhonda.
Yeah, okay, good.
We did also have a suggestion from Barbara Johnson that you might want to swing back over to the authorized values. Because you can create more tabs and groups in the suggestions management by changing some of those authorized values around. And I think there's 3 authorized values for suggestion just to start with. So it might be worth taking a look at those.
Definitely. Okay. So back here to authorized values. Everybody pretty comfortable with authorized values? You can pretty much make up whatever you want. So which one was it? Where'd it go?
Just start typing suggest and it'll filter down to the ones about suggestion.
Okay. Okay. So list of patron suggestion. Okay, so this is available, bestseller, library copy lost, or shelf copy damaged. Okay, so those are the, let's go back here. So that's what shows up under here. So you can choose whatever reason. We've got, I don't know, 15 or 20 different reasons underneath here, you know, available via ILL. You know, for the reject, you know, if you choose reject, we've got one, you know, not available from our vendor, out of print, or different. We added one for this particular time. You know, it's like we've had budget cuts and we're not able to fulfill as many purchase suggestions as before. You know, just all kinds of different things that you can put in there. And then of course there's always others. And if you click on that, you just freeform it. You know, some purchase suggestions require some, you know, unique response. So that's your option for doing that. So let's see, if I go back, will it save it? No. Okay, so suggest format. Oh, okay. So these are all of the formats that, nope, I would need to go, when you actually fill in the purchase suggestion. So let's do a new purchase suggestion. Oops, totally messed that up. Try that. Okay, so let's do a new purchase suggestion. And so this right here, these options are these options here. So if you want to limit the things people can put purchase suggestions on, you know, maybe you don't want these hour reserve as an option, you know, or you want to make the maybe group audiobooks together, you know, just instead of saying audio CD, audio youth book on tape, you know, all that kind of stuff, you can create one that just says audio book. We have ones for ebooks and for audios and different things like that. And oops, that's not it. And then the other one, I think if I go back, I have to do that again. The statuses. Okay. Barbara, help. What is this for? Suggestion status. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I think it's supposed to go in line with pending, accepted, rejected, but those might just be the defaults. I'm hoping Barbara does get back to her microphone real quick and can enlighten us.
Okay, I'm going to put my favorite category. I'm sure that will show up someplace. All libraries, okay. So let's go here.
Is it in that choose status dropdown at the bottom there?
Ha, there you go. Okay. Oh, you know what? And then if I need to put one in here. We'll say it's library. And I think as soon as I put something in it, it shows up. Yes. Okay. Mystery solved. So it looks like these six are the standard out of the box stuff. And then you can add your own if you want to.
I mean, if you've got specific collection development people and a person who just needs to say the suggestion or have this librarian for children's view it or YA, just put their names on the tabs.
Yeah, I really like that. Unaware.
And then you can look at a glance and see who hasn't been taking a look at their purchase suggestions in a week or two and let them know they need to check that.
Yeah, my manager hat's really loving that one. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. Because there's a great big long space here. We could fill that all up with people's names. Cool.
So Judy's asking a question, is there a way to purge suggestions?
Yes.
Ours are many and the function is clogged up and takes a long time to load.
Feel your pain. Totally feel your pain. So there's a couple things. There's what we do is we have a cron job that runs, and we'll delete purchase suggestions. And I think right now we've got it set for anything older than 6 months. So it just goes in every, I don't know, every night, I guess, and looks for purchase suggestions that are more than 6 months old. That's in all of them, accepted, rejected, whatever the ordered. Hopefully we don't have anything in pending that's more than 6 months old. But, and then we'll just delete those from the back end. That's the one way we do it. Yeah, you could manually go in there and delete them too with the little delete button, but that's painful. We just put in, I don't know if you're supported by Bywater, but we put in a Bywater ticket and just asked them to set up that cron job for us. It helped.
I just want to share, if you delete a suggestion, it is gone. If you're familiar with reports in the database schema, you know, you've got patrons and deleted patrons, bibs and deleted bibs, items and deleted items. There's no deleted suggestions table. So once you remove it, it's gone. So just be aware of that.
Yep, and it will, the patrons won't see it on their side either, you know, once it gets deleted. They, on this screen, they disappear from this screen as well, you know, so most of our patrons actually have figured out that we're sort of monitoring when the last time they put a purchase suggestion in, so they go in and delete them, whereas there.
They're trying to game the system, aren't they?
Game the system, you got it.
Let me just keep this purchase suggestion at 58 days old.
Yeah, yeah.
And then redo it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's how we do that. Any other questions? You know, receiving, got myself dug in here, about receiving things.
Hasina does have a question about budgeting.
Okay.
If the items are deleted, will the budget be freed back up again? Is that correct, Hasina?
Yes. Previously, we had issue if we delete the items, it deleted from the budget. So there was like, you know, money conspiracy. But then we stopped using acquisition. That was long time ago, I think 3.2. But right now we are planning to use it, and our, like, you know, all our acquisition member, they had that afraidness. So are you facing that now?
We learned in the School of Hard Knocks how to get around that one. So what you want to do is don't delete something, you know, like if you have an item in the catalog that, you know, it gets canceled or, you know, whatever reason you're not going to get it, make sure that you delete it from the acquisition side. If you're, you know, if you haven't paid for it, you delete it from the acquisition side. If it's something that you actually get it and you look at it and you say, oh no, this is the third copy of this and it's not really circulating that well. How come, you know, why did we get enough, whatever. And you're like, oh, let's just, you know, we'll delete it and give it to the friends or some, you know, whatever you're going to do. Make sure you still have spent that money at that point. That's still money that's coming out of your budget. Make sure that you receive that item and then go to the catalog and delete it from there. So that way, acquisitions, the money has been received and spent. And then if you go to the catalog side and delete it from there, the money will stay spent. Does that make sense?
Let me, I think it's not clear to me. What we usually do, like for example, if we have long lost overdue, right? So we had very huge long lost overdue. So Koha support actually had deleted items on 2019. And 2020, we haven't deleted anything. However, we have withdrawn item, right? Like, so we go to catalog and we do that. We go to catalog module and we do delete through batch delete items. So you were saying we shouldn't do that?
No, you should. That's the way you want to do it. For long lost overdue, for, you know, withdrawn, for any damage, whatever, those kinds of things. You want to go to the catalog and do the batch deletion from there. Then that won't affect the acquisitions module. The money will still show as spent on that side. What you don't want to do is if something comes in and you haven't received it yet, but you've spent the money, you know, you paid Amazon for this book, but you haven't spent the money, or you have spent the money, you want to make sure you receive that item so that it is, the money is changed from, what is it, encumbered to spent.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that means like you order items, but you haven't got the items, so that you have to go back and adjust it. That's what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. I got it. So you order it, but you didn't get it. So it's like adjustment. You're
right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I think we're coming up here on the hour. Does anybody else have questions? Let me see if I can get my...
I have a question, like if no one is actually jumping on there, I bet you are using, right, acquisition at this moment?
Yes.
Do you mind if I can reach out to you near future? Because from next week, actually, we're trying to start over our acquisition module, like, you know, budgeting, then how to order and everything. I do give them support. So our team likes to learn first and then teach the acquisition department how to work on that.
Yep. Yeah. Be happy to help in any way.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Yeah. And, you know, if you want to get in on a Zoom call or something, you know, with your people, you know, to answer questions or do whatever, happy to do that too.
Thanks a lot. Sure, I will. That's in my mind. Actually, last time I promised them that I will contact with you and to see, just to know a little bit more how other community members are doing it. Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. All right. Let me see. All right, I am going to stop sharing my screen, and that way I can see. Okay. Okay, on to next meeting. Okay. Question, is it normal to have multiple vendor EDI accounts for one specific vendor? And then another response is we have multiple vendor EDI accounts for one vendor. We use it as we order kids items differently than we do adults. And that's exactly That's exactly what we do too. We've got, you need an EDI account for each account that you have with a vendor. So for Ingram, we have 5 accounts. So we have 5 EDI accounts with Ingram as well. So. Okay. All right, well, I think we've just passed the 12 o'clock here in Central World time. So if I, want to respect your time and ping, I can definitely just give me, send me an email or whatever, and we can talk. That'd be great. So glad you guys could all join us today. Thanks for all your good questions and everything. And Jason will be uploading this to the website. You can see all the back recordings of the meetings. And everyone stay safe and have a good month till we see each other again. All right. See y'all later.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.